X-Force on the actual X-Men one? I mean, those ones are X-Force. I just don't get it. Hey, what's up, you guys? Artemis Prime here doing another Marvel Select figure review on the Marvel Select Silver Surfer figure. This review is brought to you by MarvelousNews.com. Check them out for all the latest and Marvel-related news. And I picked this figure up at my local comic book store, you know, Coastside Comics. Place to go when you're on the coast and you need comics. That's the place, you know, so go there. And if you can't find your figure at your LCBS, you can find them at Big Bad Toy Store.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
So we're looking at pretty standard packaging over here. Nice cool picture of Silver Surfer right down there. I like that. Very reflective Silver Surfer. So there's all the way up there. There's a figure looking very shiny. Here's the side of the packaging. Very cool picture of the Silver Surfer. Looks pretty cool. And here's the back of the packaging over here. Well, we have Green Goblin, which I reviewed, and the Ghost Rider. I reviewed both of these figures, courtesy of Diamond Select Toys. And here we have this comic book cover. I can't read what issue that is. And here's the figure standing on the base with the board right there. And then we have this pretty lengthy bio on the Silver Surfer, so if you want to read that, go ahead and pause it now. So I'm excited to open this figure. He has some interchangeable hands, this pretty cool base, the board, Infinity Gauntlet, some blast effects. So let's crack this thing open. So here's Silver Surfer out of his packaging on the base, looking pretty cool. We have this effect right over here. Pretty nice display piece. I dig it. So here's the base all by itself with this nice S kind of look going on with this swoosh effect, which kind of looks like water. You have blue over transparent plastic over here, so you can see the transparentness right over there. And this nice blue going all the way around. Looking pretty cool. I kind of like how this looks. It does look a little bit like water, though, I have to say that. But overall, I do like it, and I like the paint detail on the rocks over here. Space rocks over here have this nice dark gray over this lighter gray, so I think that looks pretty nice. I dig it. And it does have these two platforms right here where you could rest his feet. One of them has a peg sticking out. And here's a look at the board. I really like the silver paint on the board and the figure itself. It looks great. But a very accurate looking board. You have these lines sculpted in here, and you have pegs sticking out of the top over here for him to plant his feet, and the other side has nothing at all, so if you want him just holding it, you know, where you can't see anything, that's pretty cool. And it does fit into the base nicely, so you can get it displayed just by shoving this in here, and it stays very, very well. I like that a lot. Pretty nice. And Silver Surfer comes with two sets of hands, so this is one set over here, not exactly the same. This one has a thumb sticking out a little bit more than this left one, and there are these power cosmic effects that you can slip over the hands like so, which are pretty cool. Translucent yellow plastic. I like the sculpting on these. These are pretty nice. It fits through the thumb on that one, but this one you have to leave the thumb out when you put this one on over here, and it stays okay. You have to kind of figure out where it fits, but it'll stay alright. We pop these off, and then you could interchange it with this hand over here, which looks kind of similar, but it is different. This one's curved around there at the fingers. This one's flat all the way through. And we can pop this one off right over here, and then put on this separate right hand, which is much more curved. So there we go. Two different sets of hands. And the last accessory is this Infinity Gauntlet, which looks pretty nice. I like it. We have some shiny paint going on here for the different gems, which is pretty cool. They're all accurately colored. I like that. Oh, well, it looks like this one right here, and I don't remember exactly which gem it is, but it's not really painted all the way. But overall, it looks alright. I would have preferred if they had gone with this gold paint that they used for Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. This is a much nicer, shinier paint. So, but it does have some gold on it, like right here on the edge, and then, you know, on these bands around the knuckles and stuff like that. So that's pretty nice. At least they added that. Getting the Infinity Gauntlet on Silver Surfer is kind of weird. You could just slip it over his hand like so. But it looks like it's kind of extended a little too far, you know, like removing this, I feel like it looks a little better if I have it going on like that. That looks a little bit more natural, but I don't know, it doesn't really stay on too well. I gotta say, overall, seeing the Surfer holding this thing is pretty cool. I do like the head sculpt on this. This is pretty nice. Very much looks like classic Silver Surfer, I think. Well, his eyes aren't really exaggerated like the old school one, but I really like the detail in the mouth and the nose and everything. I like how they painted the eyes white and you have this black trim going around the eye sockets over there. I think that looks very nice. Pretty nice head sculpt, and the silver paint is just amazing. Taking a look at the rest of the figure, I really like the sculpt. He looks yoked as hell. And this silver paint is just awesome. It stays on very, very nicely. Yeah, old school Surfer did have the briefs on, like so. And I just the silver paint, you know, it doesn't have any paint detailing, but the paint on here is just very, very strong. His right foot looks a little weird. It almost looks like he has two left feet, but he doesn't. It's not the same foot over here. So this right foot, I don't know, just the way it's sculpted, it's kind of bending outward more so than it should, I think. For a figure like this, I'm not really expecting a lot of paint detail. I prefer having just the strong silver paint on here. Now the Marvel Legends one does have blue in it, which I like as well, but seeing just solid silver surfer figure is really cool. Now the articulation on this figure is pretty cool. Not my favorite from a Marvel Select figure, but it's alright. His head doesn't really move up, so kind of wish it could move up a little bit, and it moves down a tiny bit, and it rotates side to side just fine. He has shoulders that move outward, they move forward. He has a bicep swivel over here, single jointed elbow that really doesn't bend that far. His wrists move side to side, up and down, and the interchangeable wrists do the same thing as well. You can see the light gray plastic of the figure coming from underneath there, but that didn't chip off. It was already like that, so I'm not really getting any paint chipping. There's no ab crunch on the figure at all. He does have a waist joint though, so I'm happy about that. Now right here, we come to the part where I'm really bummed out about the articulation. Now his legs move outward, but you can't get him to move forward unless you do this weird side kicking thing, and I hate that joint, man. I wish he had an upper thigh swivel right here. Just a simple cut coming around here would have made a huge difference, because you can't really get him squatting or doing any really cool crazy poses on his board without having that upper thigh swivel, and that kind of sucks. That's the biggest bummer of the figure for me. So anyway, you can rotate it and kind of move it like that, and that's all you get. You do get double jointed knees, which is cool, and his ankles move down, up, and he does have the beautiful ankle pivot. I love this ankle pivot, and of course he does have the peg holes at the bottom of his feet. So the Silver Surfer stands just over 7 inches tall, pretty average size for a Marvel Select figure. And here he is compared to the Marvel Select Thanos figure, which is one of my favorite Marvel Select figures of all time, and I think these guys work and scale together very, very well. And here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Series 5 Silver Surfer, which is the only Marvel Legends Silver Surfer I have. I don't have any of the Hasbro ones because I think they're weak. I do like the blue shading on here. Oh, I just knocked that over, but yeah, it seems like it's a little too much seeing it compared to this one over here. I do appreciate this brighter silver. It looks very, very clean, and I don't know, it's Silver Surfer, man. He just needs to be silver anyway. So very cool figure. I like it. I recommend it. He comes with a bunch of interchangeable pieces. I mean, there's a decent amount of stuff with this figure. My only real gripe with it is a lack of an upper thigh swivel right here. That's the only thing that bums me out. Other than that, I think it is an awesome figure. I hope you guys thought this review was equally as awesome. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and help Bob out. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Over here we have the Infinity Glock. So I'm excited. So I'm excited.